That's right, we are back. Welcome back to Race and Ethnic Relations on Campus podcast shows. I am Dr. B, and welcome back to our show. This is show number 14. Show number 14. I'll get it right. It's entitled Selfies Impact on Improving Race Relations. That's right, selfies. Taking pictures. Bringing out your cameras. Selfies Impact on improving race relations. Wow, it is that basic. And I'm going to share with you one of the class exercises that I use in my college classes. Taking pictures, selfies with a person who just happens to be of a different racial and ethnic background than you. The positive impact that has on college students. It's just that simple. Taking selfies. Okay, let me take care of some business. I want to thank all our sponsors, our special sponsors. I want to thank Podbean, of course. Podbean, thank you so much for hosting our podcast shows. I want to thank, I'm doing a little flip here. I want to thank iHeartRadio for getting our message out and our race and ethnic relations on campus podcast shows out there. iHeartRadio. I want to thank iTunes and Apple Podcasts. I want to thank Google Play, Google Music. I want to thank Spotify, and of course I want to thank YouTube. So with that said, this is show number 14, and of course all of these shows on race and ethnic relations are connected to my 2018 book, Race and Ethnic Relations on Campus, Understanding Empowerment and Solutions for College Students. A big shout out to my 2018 book and the publishers, ABC Clio and Prager Publishers. We are continuing to do these podcast shows, and this is an opportunity for me to talk about things outside of the classroom. And this is a topic that I'm continuing with the positive impact of race relations. And it gets so basic as taking a selfie with another student who just happens to be of a different racial and ethnic background. The impact of this is phenomenal. I did this a couple of years ago in another one of my classes, but I'm going to share with you some of the experiences of what's happened in 2019 with my cultural anthropology class. And I finally said, okay, I'm going to take my students outside and I'm going to encourage them to meet someone of a different racial and ethnic background and take a selfie with them. The purpose of it is to start to get some of the students comfortable with other folks, but recognize that they have a lot in common. And the picture, the selfie, helps the average white student, African American student, Latino student to connect with other students other than themselves. And in the selfie, it shows so much emotion just in the selfie, in that picture. And they have to take a picture with not just one, but two individuals during this class time on campus. And then I showcase them. Not only do they do that during the field work outside, and sometimes it is a struggle for some of the students. Other times it's pretty straightforward. They're pretty easy. And they take the picture and they're finished, and but they don't realize I'm going to call them to the front of the class the following week after I collect all the accounts, all the selfies. And I bring the students in front of the class and allow them to explain who they met and what they have in common, what is that person's, how do they identify themselves ethnically, racially, and ethnically. And then most important, what do you have in common with that person? and they find they have, now on the surface, similar things. Just in that quick moment, they do have something in common. But what really stays with them is that selfie. That picture. That selfie is very impactful in a very positive way. Because not only do they have it on their phone and in their files, but I have it and in a classroom setting and share it with other students just in the classroom setting. And when they actually see it in the classroom setting, you can see it makes a difference. Just in that moment when they have to explain this person who they would have never met, would have never had a conversation with, now they have to explain it in front of their classmates. And you can see the expression, the positive expression on their face. It's rewarding just in that moment. And then I look out at the audience, at my rest of my students in the lecture hall, and they are quite surprised. They are quite surprised of the type of individuals, different folks on campus. And then to see their classmate in the class have such a pleasant time with a person who just happens to have a different racial and ethnic background than them. The total surprise of just a selfie. That's right, just a selfie. Because that is symbolically a visual indication that all of us can connect with another person of a different background in a civil way, in a relaxed way, in a fun way, in an academic way. Think about it. Taking a selfie with another person. Use that as an opportunity. It just makes me feel good to see how many of my students, how they took the opportunity. And you should, again, the reaction immediately afterwards, it was so emotional during their field work. And then when they had to explain it from their classmates, yeah, they kind of downplayed it a little bit. Oh, I met this person. Oh, I met that. And I have to really work them, really ask them, how did you really feel? And then when they had the time, that really had the time to think about it and then explain it in front of their classmates, it made them feel really good. Just for that moment, made them really feel good. That they know they can actually interact with a person who happens to look different than them and find something in common. And then after all, I get as many students coming to the front of the classroom as much as possible. And then I show them several of my other students in other classes, in a race and ethnic relations class, and how they connected with my honor students from another class, and how a few of them became best of friends who were completely opposite, very focused on their specific racial and ethnic identity and agenda. And by the end, they became, these individuals, these two in particular, these two young ladies became best of friends. Now, when I show those pictures in front of my current now cultural anthropology class, they are completely shocked. Pleasantly shocked they see this picture of an African American young lady and a Caucasian white young lady together as best friends. That was rewarding. And my students now still see that as very surprising in 2019. The reason why I bring this up is so basic, so simple, how we can connect with one another, regardless of all the divisiveness out there in the world, in the U.S., in the country, all the divisiveness that separates all of us from one group to another, just separating us. But when you slow things down, we can easily connect. And how do we connect? Just take a selfie with a person who looks different than you and ask them how they identify themselves, and and ask them further questions of what you have in common with that person. It is that simple. It makes you feel good. It makes you feel good that you have similar common likes with a person who looks different than you. It makes you feel good. And then when you take a selfie, you can see it makes people feel good. It is just so simple as that. It's not complicated. It's not a big theory. Many times you got to get out these students. I'm talking about these students, today's students, 2019 students, outside their comfort zone and take a selfie with a person who looks different than them. Get them out of their comfort zone. And this is one of my strategies. How to address race and ethnic relations now, 2019 and 2020. Get them out of the comfort zone. Take a selfie with another person. Find out what you have in common with him or her. That's how you improve. That is another simple step in improving race relations among today's college students. That's what I'm all about. How to understand, how to empower, and how to improve, develop solutions for today's college students. I do it every semester. I'm not able to talk about it extensively in class. That's the reason why I'm talking about it now in this podcast show. Many times we make things so complicated in our society, in academia, that we fail to forget the most simplest thing to bring folks together of varying backgrounds, racial, ethnic, social, economic, political, sexual orientation, gender identity, to bring them together with a selfie, taking a photo with another person. A selfie brings, believe it or not, it brings people together. So I would encourage the listening audience, when you get a chance, like step outside of your house, step outside of your apartment, step outside of your college dorm, step outside of your lecture hall and take a selfie with another person as soon as possible. Send me, let me just say, when you do that, send me your selfie. I will post it on the website. I will post it on my Twitter account. So for all of those individuals who are listening on YouTube, on Spotify, Podbean, iTunes, Google Play. Send me your selfie with another person at ejb678@gmail.com. I will post it. I want to show the entire world that we can come together. And a selfie is an excellent opportunity to show that college students are coming together, believe it or not, in 2019 and 2020. So here is my homework. Here is my homework for the listening audience right now. Take a selfie with a person of a different racial and ethnic background. Send it to me at ejb678@gmail.com, and I will post it on my website, my Twitter account, my Instagram account, to show America, show the world that we can come together. It is that simple. So this is my homework for all the lists. It doesn't matter when you take it. Doesn't matter. This can happen now in 2019 or 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, and on. Because I'm going to rebroadcast this, and I probably will do, yes, I will probably do a live show just on this. Here, I just came up with a special live stream show. Here's the, and I know now, see, this is what happens when you do an actual podcast. New ideas, new approaches come to, but the first step is I want those of you who are listening, who download this particular podcast and just happen to listen to portions of it, please send me your selfie with another person who happens to look different than you at ejb678@gmail.com, so we can show the world that we all can come together, particularly college students. We all can all come together. That's what I would love for the listening audience to share with the rest of the world. Selfies Impact on improving race relations. It is that basic and simple to the core. And you will feel good. I guarantee you will feel good that you took a moment out of your very busy lives and to meet initially a stranger and take a selfie with that person and find out what you have in common with that person. That is the first step in changing your world. That is the first step in changing our world. One of the first steps. That is really one of my goals. Step by step, changing our world for the positive. So let's take out your camera, take out your phone, all your brand new phones, all your iPhones, all the special phones. Take one of the latest selfies with the special phone, with a special person, and send it to me at ejb678@gmail.com. We're starting it now in 2019. And I'm going to continue this for several years. Mark it right now, October 24th, the begin of a new agenda, a new initiative, a new strategy to show to the world that we can come together. So I'm pleading with the listening. I'm pleading with you, particularly college students. Take a selfie with a friend, with a non-friend, someone on campus, send it to me. And I will showcase it on my website, on my Twitter account, on my Instagram account, and even with my classes that I teach here at ECU. So they can see that the world is truly trying its best way to get along with one another. So that is the world, that is the listening world, social media world assignment. Send Dr. B send Dr. B your selfie so I can show the world, show my class, show my colleagues, but particularly show the world that we all can come together even in 2019, 2020, and beyond. The impact of a selfie is very, very powerful. We take it for granted because everyone's doing selfies, but you got to think about how to bring people together, particularly today's college students. I really feel for my college students. I want them to connect with one another. They need to see it in the real world. They're a bit insulated, but they need to see it in the real world. From real people, real college students, all types of college students. But they need to see it. So again, whenever you hear this show, and hopefully you hear the show soon, but if you hear it in a couple of months, maybe a year from now as well, send me your, it doesn't matter when, send me your selfie with another person who is from a different racial and ethnic background. Send it to me at ejb678@gmail.com. That's it. I think that any picture, and hopefully numerous pictures, I'll be able to show the world that we are getting along. So there you go. This is Race and Ethnic Relations on Campus, show number 14. It's entitled Selfies Impact on Improving Race Relations. I am Dr. B. I am Dr. B. I want to thank Podbean, Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, Google Play, and of course YouTube for showcasing us. And we just want to be real, and we just really want to bring all college students together and improve race relations across this country. This is Race and Ethnic Relations. I'm Dr. B. Peace out, folks. That's right. Peace out. See ya.